yeah, what kind of haircut should we give her? I like the disconnection with the bob. I think it's cool. Maybe we go even more disconnected here. Maybe we continue the bob on the other side and we actually like do something asymmetrical. Like maybe we go shorter on this side. And I have an idea. So sometimes when I'm like, okay, where am I going with this? I'll ask my client or I'll decide like on what I want the bangs to look like. And since this is a super funky girl, like she is funky. Let it not be a secret. Like she's like got this crazy undercut. She's gonna probably end up with asymmetrical hair and we're gonna do something geometric on her because this is my haircut. Because I get to do whatever I want on her because she's keeping me inspired. And that's what I want to do. So yeah, so I'm going to basically just take a triangle section, I have decided, but not a narrow one. When I'm doing like a really shaggy bang, I'll take like that small little triangle section and I'll start with those little details here. But when I'm widening out that triangle section, I'm actually saying that this undercut part that's going to be even shorter, thanks, they're like, do it. This undercut part that's going to be shorter is going to be a little more extreme, which is why her section is a little bit wider. So that's my thought process there. I'll use my shears just because her hair's dry. And like I said, this haircut's for me, not for her. And I want to be inspired and I want to just kind of get some scissors into some hair for about 15 minutes before I have to go be a mom and pick up my kids and focus on them and get them to soccer and, you know, and then check more things off of my list. Like this isn't something I had to do today. This was just something I decided very last minute when I was like literally trolling through Instagram, like not trolling, but you know what I mean? Just like, I don't ever send like mean comments unless it's completely just, but even then I'll usually direct message, right? I don't troll. I don't believe in that. So anyways, yeah, I was just like, you know, like wasting a bunch of time and I'm like, this is not making me feel any more inspired. So nothing like a nice live adrenaline rush to keep you going. So here we go. Just gonna start in the center here. Let's open this up, but let's give it like a lot of texture. So, yeah, just dry hair. I'm gonna twist this center part right here. And that the more like twist, like locking me out. Did the screen go black for you guys for a second? It's kind of bizarre. Maybe I'll unplug it. See what happened. Let me know if it went black. So yeah, I guess I just have to keep like touching it to keep it awake. Yep. It's probably something in my settings. Okay, so twist, 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 pinch, hold my comb away. I would over direct if it was on one side or the other, but I'm just gonna hold it square. Oh, it did go black for a second. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna come in here and I'm gonna just like literally cut it kind of blunt, but like in a rocking motion, and just cut a huge chunk of hair off because that makes me feel really good. So you can see how it's like textured at the bottom, you know, like nice, pretty little texture. She has a part, so we need to train her bangs. Don't you love when your like clients like, you're like, oh yeah, you just have to train them. They'll be real nice in, you know, a few days after you train them. And it sounds like a disclaimer, but it's not. Yeah, her parting is pretty strong right there. I'll tilt her back so you guys can see better. But yeah, so then there's that little textury bit. So now I'll take the next section over. And if I wanted to twist and over direct it to the center, I could start to get like an angle here. But like I said, I just kind of want to do something that's going to be fun for me. So I'm going to hold it straight down again, keeping my hand stable here and just opening and closing my shears until the hair just like falls away, you know, until I run out of hair. So I'm not really forcing my scissors. I'm not like being really intense with like cutting into it really strongly. I'm just kind of like letting my scissors like do their motion and kind of just like open, close, open, close, open, close. And then that hair just kind of eventually just lets go of itself, because it's still a pretty thick section. These doll heads are thicker around the hair than an actual human. So anytime you're working within a thicker section, you really want to kind of like finesse it away rather than chunk it away. So I'm going to just kind of like skim across the top hairs and keep doing it until the whole section gives away, right? So I'm not like forcing anything. So I'm creating kind of a square bang, but it's like really textured and really pretty underneath. So it's fun. Bring this next section. Like I said, I want to like open her up more. So by that, I mean open up her eyes more. So if I cut this round, I'm going to close in her eyes. But if I cut this square or even like inverted here, should we do it inverted? Would that be cool? Just kind of like cut it up a little higher. Nah, I'm going to keep it semi-square, but with the idea that if it's like a little shorter in these corners, I'm chill with that. Like I'm happier to have that to show her off like her eyebrows, you know, or her eyes rather. Cool. So twist, twist, twist. This last one, I'm twisting and putting it straight down again. Open, close. Hair gives away. And now we opened up her eyeball. Same thing on the other side. I'm literally just like, you know, teaching, but I was kind of just going to therapeutically do this. I think sometimes it's just one of those things. It's like, man, like we all struggle with staying inspired, and hair really genuinely, truly inspires me. And there's this like one video that we posted a while ago, a Renegade Royal video, and there's a part of it that says like, get out that doll head and get back to work, like my voiceover. And that's exactly it. I felt like I had this moment where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Get out that doll head, get back to work. It doesn't matter what you have going on, or even if you just have 15 minutes to spare, like myself. Like I'm literally don't even know if I'm going to complete this look for you guys by the time I have to pick up my kids. But I think the thing in itself is just like having to really, you know, be real and be honest and hold ourselves accountable, you know, when it's like, hang on, how can I, like, if my passion is inspiring people, how can I inspire anybody if I'm not like feeling it in that moment? You know what I mean? Like I'm naturally like a very passionate person and like smiley and happy, and that's just who I am on my daily basis. I'm not like one person on the internet and a different person elsewise. Ask my friends. What does that say? I felt like I needed inspiration today, and I'm working on my mannequin head doing color. That's so awesome. Like, I don't know. I'm just so appreciative of hairdressers, like in the hairdresser community, because we give, and we know all about that, right? Like we are constantly kind of like burning up creative energy, but it almost takes work and being creative to get the energy back. It doesn't make sense. It's like things are going out of your tank. So you think that putting more things out of your tank would like, I don't know, like, but I think it's not like a negative equals like more of an empty tank. I actually think that it's, yes, I can cut your hair off. I actually think that it's, you know, different. Creativity and inspiration is different. Like, you have to put in more. You can't sit back and wait for it to just hit you. Like, you have to just explore, and you have to start creating, and you have to start changing things. And this is exactly how I end up making up techniques, is like, just, okay, now what? You know? Cool. So I am going to like now make it like a little bit more of a shaggy bang, but with this idea that there's this like strong square shape underneath. So I'm going to open and close my shears. I'm, you know, using my hand kind of over her head to cut this side, standing on the side. So now she's got like a feathery texture that's a little bit like short to long. But what this does by creating that square underneath is when this kicks out, her eyes are still really showcased and opened, but now she has something around the corner. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that, you know? So she has like a little softness right here that she can push and push out of her eyes, but the stuff underneath just supports it and keeps like her eye shape really opened up. This is driving me crazy, this little hole. It's just like split, like, anyways, we'll train your bangs later. All right, so then now I'm just gonna stand in front and on this side. And actually, you can stay on the same side. I think that's easier for you guys to see, so I'm not standing in front of my section, but I'm just going open, close, from short to slightly longer on the end. So that like slightly longer bit is the bit that kind of just like hooks around. So you have like a slight like short to long. And then we'll take the next section down. Boom. Bringing it down. Now I'm going to cut from the back forward and create like stronger points. And I'm still doing an undercut. So this section is slightly longer than my previous. So there's going to be maximum amount of texture and movement within this section. Can you guys see me? That's so funny. I wonder how long it's been black. There you go. Anyways, yeah. So when you move it around, pop, 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 beep, pop, boop, you'll like start to see like all of that texture kind of come out, and she'll just be even funkier because then you can really like reveal what's going on underneath. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. But I like that it's kind of like lining up with like her little pixie underneath here. So it's gonna help inspire me like what I'm gonna do after I cut her bangs. I'll kind of then decide like where this is all headed, where this is all going. Yeah, I think I can do like a few more sections before we have to jump off. When you go, what's that? When you go to cut my hair off? I'm like so stoked that everybody's just kind of wanting their hair cut off. I feel like it's, you know, such a cool moment to be a hairdresser right now. I feel like in fashion, in hair, and in general, everybody's just going bold. Everybody's just kind of going for it and kind of, I think people are still shedding COVID. I think that people are still like, we're still in that post-COVID era where, you know, people are just like wanting to feel liberated and light and free from 2020 and all of that, which is so cool. But then there's also this like, I don't know, just in style, like even longer lengths. People are like adding hair and making it like super long and super extreme, and I'm so here for it. I like feel like it's so exciting. What's that? Is it possible to have bangs when you have a bit of a cowlick? Oh, totally. Sometimes it can even bring out like something cool in the bangs that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. Like sometimes I actually like will utilize a good cowlick and like decide which direction those bangs are going to go ultimately. So that's really exciting actually sometimes, but you do have to consider the cowlick and not just be so like, you know, I don't know, just like whatever about it. Like you have to really consider it. Like if she really did have this like break in the center, I would probably suggest that she goes like further to the side to kind of like add some weight right there, to kind of help weigh down the cowlick. Because if you lighten it up and kind of, you know, layer it up too much in the center, then there's no weight to kind of like train that area. Yeah, I'm liking the way these kind of wispy bits look. It's kind of cool. Yeah, because then you get like the cool kind of underneath short pieces poking through, which I think is really fun because who doesn't love like a little added detail? Cool. What do you guys think we should we cut this? See, asymmetrical could be really cute. Like if we cut this side kind of like a little bit. Oh, she has such a square bob in the back. I might just have to like fix that or change that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it evolves into. But eventually her bangs will inspire us. Do I have time for one more section? now I just want to hang out with you guys. Now I'm like, okay, what product are you using? So it's called Milky Waves by Nutricurl. And I like it because it helps bring out the texture. So you can notice like it immediately kind of brings back the elasticity in the hair, and it brings out the texture and like makes it a little bit wavy and kind of helps asymmetrical mullet. Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. That's kind of what I was like thinking of doing, but the bob in the back is kind of throwing me off. Like I'm like, it's so square back there. So I think we just need to, you know, rethink that bob moment in the back. Cool. So yeah, we'll do this one last section. Maybe I will kind of, I feel like she was wet and then she just dried straight and dried with it stuck to her head. Can you cut it from a mullet to a shag? Wait, what's that? Yeah, okay, so like a mullet on one side, an asymmetrical. I love that idea, you guys. Yeah, let's totally do that. So maybe whenever I'm feeling like I need inspiration, I'll just come to you guys to help, for your help, and we'll just keep working on this cut and just finish up the next part of the cut, the next random moment that I go live. How about that? So this is gonna be like her shag side, right? All right, so what if we start already with some asymmetry? Like already in the bang section? Too soon? Maybe too soon. But I think it'd be cool, like just to have, well, let's give her symmetry in the center here. But then this part, so in the center, we'll give her like symmetry, obviously. But then I think I'm just gonna cut it like a little bit rounded and up higher, just here, like whoop, in the side. So then it kind of just like tucks back and we can just start getting super mullety through here. And then on this side, I left like this softness, like this piece right here. So the softness right there. And we'll make it end up in a shag. But do you guys see how kind of like it's weighty and there's like longer hairs, but ultimately it really does kind of open up her eyes because of that broader section that we took in the beginning. And that's not how I always cut them. That's just like what I decided to do.